things you could have done.
Yeah, we got lots going on.
Just like with Starbucks.
Hi.
Yeah.
I love it. You know, I discovered something. You were on the ballot, and I voted for you. Isn't that interesting? Because I went back and dug out my ballot. I said,
No, it was a
how did I not remember he was
The construction process.
And Mary was laughing. She's going, well,
And when it's
she said,
done,
think about
I thought rumors got around the building.
For
quick, 'cause I
what do you
thought,
want me to
oh,
tell you?
shit,
30
you know,
years
there
as
was
a
a
high
cop.
school
They're going to
principal,
call the paramedics.
I averaged about
Held for it.
300 kids.
Good evening. It's 7 o'clock. Welcome to the Kent City Council meeting of May the 15th. We have a public hearing, so we need a roll call.
Mr. Amrine?
Here.
Ms. Selko?
Yes.
Mr. Clapper?
Here.
Mr. DeLeon?
Here.
Mr. Hook?
Here.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Here.
Ms. Schaefer-Bish? Here. Mr. Sidoti?
Here.
I need a motion to excuse Mr. Turner. He's
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Bridget, it's all you.
Thank you, Mayor. This is the second of two required public hearings for the Community Development Block Grant Program for the 2024 Annual Action Plan for the City of Kent. This is the fifth and final year of the city's 5-year comprehensive plan. The goals and objectives for the Community Development Block Grant are to assist low-income households, affordable housing, and to provide special programming for those in need. We did receive word of the city's allocation just last week. The CDBG allocation for the program year 2024 will be $283,425. This is slightly less than what we received last year.
Okay, any questions from the audience? Seeing none, the public hearing is closed. Thank you, Bridget. Now getting into the regular council meeting. Would you please read the roll?
Mr. Amrine?
Here.
Ms. Selko?
Here.
Mr. Clapper?
Here.
Mr. DeLeon?
Here.
Mr. Hook?
Here.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Here.
Ms. Schaefer-Bish? Here. Mr. Sidoti?
Here.
Need a motion to excuse Mr. Turner again.
moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, we have opening remarks and pledged by Heidi Schaefer-Bish.
Hi. What I want to say is welcome. I want to say welcome to the people who came to this council chambers, and I want to say welcome to those of you who are attending via YouTube. I want to say how much we value transparency. And if you see our new city hall going up, we designed it in order to reflect our values. So we're hoping that the community is appreciating that, and we do appreciate when you decide to check in and watch the council meetings and participate in them. So with that, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I'm getting there.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I need a motion for the minutes of the April 17th and May 1st.
So moved.
Second, any discussion on that? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Okay, thank you again. Communication. Is there any public communications?
Oh, yes. First off, we have Haley Richards.
Just a minute. While the law does not require council to approve time for public communication, we historically invite the public to make their comments, and we appreciate their input. There is a time when residents and others can comment on matters that concern them. However, we will not engage in any debate, and as president of the city council, I reserve the right to end any public communication that is disruptive, embarrassing, harassing, or otherwise objectionable. We ask that you come to the podium, give your name and address, and we'll allot you 3 minutes. Now you can come.
Thank you. My name is Haley Richards. I was here last month and I spoke. I provided a memo for this month, so I hope everybody received that. I've been a Kent resident, grew up here. I currently work for a national cannabis company, and previously I opened Bliss, Ohio. I was the general manager and I managed all of the compliance. I moved into a new role a few months ago, so I'm not really affiliated with Bliss anymore, so I wanted to come and offer to kind of be a resource if I can, having experience in cannabis and specifically in education. I got my master's in education before I moved into cannabis, and I currently work with OCAN, the Ohio Cannabis Coalition, and I work on some educational initiatives with them specific to cannabis, and especially with many communities across the state that have moratoriums in place. So I wanted to come and provide information so that I could be a resource if it could be helpful. Sales are expected to begin in June and July. They had a meeting yesterday where the Division of Cannabis Control briefed the Ohio Cannabis Coalition, so we are expecting to see licenses for recreational sales as soon as June 14th, probably sometime this summer. I know that that is not what was expected with the original timeline, so I just kind of wanted to emphasize that in case that was new information. I also wanted to note that I think it would be awesome if we could get cannabis sales going as soon as possible, right? I'm sure I'm not the only one with that opinion. I think it would really help local businesses during the slower summer season. My family used to have Scribbles in Kent previously, so I know the summer season is so slow, and I think that any additional traffic would be much welcome. I also wanted to note that fall is, of course, a busy season with all the students returning, so being able to start recreational sales before then and kind of see if there are any kinks to be worked out, I think would be beneficial, especially with the location of the dispensary currently in Kent on that kind of traffic circle or traffic intersection. I think having recreational sales within the next few months would be helpful to kind of work everything out. Whether that's done by zoning dual-use dispensaries with recreational dispensaries, or rather with medical dispensaries, like we already have one, or grandfathering in existing businesses, I think that allowing recreational sales would be in the best interest of the community sometime this summer. And yeah, I just wanted to come and say hello, and if I can ever be a resource or provide any information or connections, feel free to reach out. But I really appreciate everybody looking into this. I appreciate everybody's attention to this topic. And yeah, if I can ever be helpful, please let me know. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. If you have something in writing, the clerk can
Yeah.
have it so she get it accurate in the minutes.
Jen Richards.
Name and address, and we'll give you 3
I
minutes.
love it.
All right, my name is Jennifer Richards. I live at 842 Admore Drive in Kent. I've been a Kent resident for 23 years. I've been a business owner. I have 3 children that have come through the Kent City Schools. I've supported and worked with rec departments. We've played every sport. We've been integral and really part of this community. I know many of your children, grandchildren, friends, and I'm excited that this is something that has come to Ohio. We're excited to bring it, but also roll it out in a safe manner, right? And I just wanted to come and speak a little bit because I'm also a top business executive for the largest Ohio-owned cannabis company in the state of Ohio. I've been doing it for 4 years. I don't look like what people expect. Crazy, right? Soccer mom-esque. But you know what? I'm a cannabis user. I'm one of the people. And I think a lot of times the people get bogged down by feeling like, you know, it leads to bad behaviors and all these things. But the stigma's changing. You know, the data's changing. And I just want to be a resource and help educate and be here to answer questions and help because we're all learning this together. As Haley said, I think having an opportunity to have rec sales with some oversight and be able to work out those kinks is going to be huge before the students come back, you know, and addressing some of those challenges. 1 second. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, last thing I wanted to mention was cannabis is incredibly safe. Everything that comes through our facility, it's medical grade. It's the same thing. You couldn't walk into, you know, a Pfizer plant. It's the same kind of thing. It's a big deal. We use a lot of the focus on packaging and child-proofing and all of that is incredibly stringent. Where it's not is in the vape shops. And that is super critical because there is no oversight. We don't know what goes in it. And so having an option that's safe and reliable and consistent, medically tested, data proven, and having that at the tip of your hands is always going to be a benefit, I think, to our community. So we'd love to be able to hopefully see this happen in rec. As Haley said, it is looking like June 14th. They are going to, the 7th, they will be putting out the applications for the existing companies, and they will have 1 week. And from what I have been told, basically, it's going to be, okay, if you guys are committed to following the rules, good luck, and if you break them, we are coming down hard. And they're looking to make an example. So it is asking people to step up and continue to meet these requirements, and they're incredibly stringent. It's been difficult to work around, but it's exciting to see options for people, not only in jobs, but in supporting our local community, supporting the patient base, and recreational use. You know, we're excited to hopefully see some of that money to be able to put back into our community. So I know we have a significant amount of people from Kent that actually work in my facility, and so they're excited too. So we're excited to hopefully see this roll out and grow, and you know, see Kent kind of lead the way. So I just thank you for your time. Thank you for being so diligent and making sure that this happens and that it's safe and that it rolls out for the community in the best option possible. So
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Further?
Julie Kenworthy.
Name and address for the record, please. We'll give you 3 minutes. And happy birthday.
Oh, it's your birthday.
He's 21 today. Look out, Pete.
Julie Kenworthy, 919 Fieldstone Drive. I just go. I'm the director of the Kent Historical Society. A couple months ago, I spoke on behalf of the Historical Society asking for council to reconsider their decision to get rid of the Architecture Review Board and to consider establishing a historic downtown overlay district. Motions to do both were made and passed, and the city then suggested that the Historical Society help provide the research and information for them to consider these goals. Since then, a subcommittee of the Historical Society has been formed with members of a few local organizations represented. I'm here today to provide an update for you all. First, let me back up a little bit and tell you about a project the Historical Society has been working on for over a year. The Historic Structures Project is a website that lists historic sites around town. Our subcommittee has been creating a list of historic buildings downtown by using the Story Map Historic Structures Project and the Facade Book. The list shows what year the buildings were built and will help us create a map of the historic downtown overlay district. The Historic Structures Project, which was overseen by the Portage County Planning Commission, has been split into 2 phases. We've raised a total of $20,000 so far. Phase 1 was completed last summer. Phase 2 is happening this summer, and we'll have interns updating and revising the website. I encourage you all to check it out. You can just scan the QR code that's on the handout, or you can go to our website. You can find it that way too. Our subcommittee wants to help educate the community on the importance of historic preservation as a contributor to the economy, as we feel there's a misconception that it is not. We have numerous examples of how conservation and adaptive reuse have greatly improved our downtown. Many examples are provided on the handout. One of my favorites is the train station. When it was going to be, the Historical Society was formed to save it. It was going to be torn down in 1971. One of the things being proposed was that it be, that the downtown needed more parking, and so it was going to be a parking lot. So I think we can all agree that it's a good thing that didn't happen. Preservation is conservation. It focuses more on the built environment than the natural, although it often includes both. Reduce, reuse, recycle, repair. Conserving buildings does all 4. It reduces greenhouse gases, reuses what we already have, and recycles and repairs materials to keep them out of landfills. It revives commercial areas, creates jobs, attracts visitors and events, and supports small businesses. History sells. To conclude, we want to ensure that an overlay district is in place and subject to a mandatory review process and/or board. We feel strongly that a review process is not only important but vital to the continued success of our downtown. We are a dedicated committee meeting weekly to achieve these goals. We would like to request more time to present our ideas at the June meeting, more than the standard 3 minutes. At that time, we should have the map showing the buildings and what year they were built downtown. Please feel free to contact us with any questions.
Okay.
Now
Thank
I'm
you.
going to go celebrate my birthday.
Happy
birthday, Julie.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, the last person is Nathaniel Adams.
Name and address, and we'll give you 3 minutes, sir.
Good evening, and Nathaniel Adams, 1325 Sunset Way Boulevard, here in Kent. to the council members and to the mayor, thank you for this time. I'm actually running to be the next state representative for the 72nd State House District, which is the majority of Portage County, and that includes my hometown of Kent. I've lived here in Portage County for 17 years. I graduated from Theodore Roosevelt High School, got my BA in political science from Hiram College, and then got my master's in communication studies from Kent State University. And I currently work as a research assistant for a small private company in Akron called State and Federal Communications. And one of the reasons I wanted to be here tonight was to not only introduce myself, but also to explain that I hope to be able to meet with many of you throughout this campaign and to discuss many of the issues that the City of Kent has, that hopefully that I can address in the state legislature. I know that a lot of you put so much work into the City of Kent through your not just here in the council, but also your work in the community. And I want to be able to let you know that if there's anything I can do to help as your state representative, whether it be for further grants or addressing several issues that the residents here in Kent have, I am happy to do so. If any of you have any questions for me throughout either tonight or down on the line, you're more than welcome to contact me. I pass on my email address to the clerk. I want to also let you know that I know that there are people, I've been through council meetings and township meetings the last few days, and there are people that I've met that do not agree with much of my, with me on some of my positions, and I've let them know that, like, hey, even if we don't agree on certain things, and there may be times that we will disagree, but I want to let people know that I am here to have a good working relationship with all the municipality officials all around the 72nd District and be able to, hopefully, even if we do disagree, that we can come to a resolution on key issues to help this community down the line. So thank you for your time, and I appreciate this opportunity.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck. Yep, good luck. That's it, Amy, on
That's it.
public?
Yep.
Okay, written communication, please.
Email from Lisa Washburn in regard to the proposed assisted living villas being proposed by Portage Health Networks was received on April 19th. A liquor license transfer request for license transferring from Pit Stop Pub LLC to Last Exit Books. Jason Merline, doing business as Last Exit Books, 124 East Main Street, Kent, was received on April 22nd, 2024. Chief Shear had no objections.
No comment.
Return with no comment?
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All right. Any discussion?
She can have it.
I think I'm looking forward to it. I think it's great. Congratulations, and I think that that Last Exit Books is a really interesting business in downtown Kent. It's really unique. Jason's been working hard at it for 20 years before any of the revitalization, so I'm excited to see what's coming next for it.
Roger?
Yeah, I would agree. I think that it's one of the things that make us such an eclectic downtown, and a lot of our former students hang around the Last Exit. So I have no objections, and I'm glad he's expanding his what he's going to be offering.
Anybody else? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, thank you. Further, Amy?
An email from Mr. John Kuhar regarding environmental concerns with the trash haulers requiring mattresses and furniture to be covered in plastic was received and forwarded to council on April 24th. The Standing Rock Cemetery Board of Trustees meeting agenda for May 9th was received on May 6th. An application for the CRAH Board, Fair Housing Board, and Income Tax Board of Review was received from Alyssa Fleming on May 8th, 2024. Additional communication, Parks and Rec agenda packet for May 16th was received on May 9th. An email from Haley Richards with a memo to council in regard to the timeline for recreational cannabis sales in Ohio was received and forwarded to council on May 14th. The Portage County Solid Waste Management April 11th agenda was received on April 24th and emailed to council that same day. The Board of Zoning Appeals meeting agenda for May 20th was received on May 13th. Planning Commission agenda for May 21st was received on May 15th. And then this evening I received a packet of concerns about the properties at 1541 South Water. I received that from Mr. Martin Skoke, and gave that packet to council. And I also received a flyer from Julie Kenworthy from the Kent Historical Society regarding the overlay districts, and gave that to council as
Okay,
well.
thank you. And the city manager report, Mr. Ameren?
Yeah, I'd like to move items 1 through 9.
Any
Second.
discussion? Second by, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Mr. Hoover is not here. All right, let's get into committee of the whole. I need a motion for the minutes of the May 1st meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Second by Roger. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I need a motion for the action.
Second. Well, I'll move the action.
Second.
Who seconded it?
Move seconded.
All right, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, we're going to move into community development. Ms. Rosenberg.
Yes, I'd like to make motion for the May 1st, 2024 committee meeting minutes and move the one action.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, thank you. Would the clerk read draft number 2024-040 in title only?
Draft 2024-040, an ordinance approving a request for Community Development Block Grant CDBG assistance for fiscal year 2024 under Title I of the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974 as amended, including the program year 2024 annual action plan, and authorizing the execution and filing of the program year 2024 annual action plan, including related certifications, and upon awarding of the grant, authorizing appropriation of funds and declaring an emergency.
Move suspension.
Second.
Second by Jeff. Please call the roll for suspension.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Ms. Selko? Yes. Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
Mr. De Leon?
Yes.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Move adoption. Second.
Second by Chris. Is there any discussion on adopting this ordinance? Seeing none, please call the roll for adoption.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Ms. Selko?
Yes.
Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
Mr. De Leon?
Yes.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Ordinance 2024-040 has passed.
Okay, thank you. Would the clerk read draft number 2024-041 in title?
Draft 2024-041, an ordinance authorizing the city manager or his designee to continue the enterprise zone agreement with the Davy Tree Expert Company, providing for a project and real property tax exemption pursuant to the Ohio Enterprise Zone Program, EASY, and declaring an emergency.
Move suspension.
Second.
Second by Gwen. Please call the roll for suspension.
Ms. Selko?
Yes.
Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
Mr. De Leon?
Yes.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Move adoption.
Second.
Second by Mike. Please, is there any discussion on adopting this? Please call the roll for adoption.
Ms. Selko?
Yes.
Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
Mr. De Leon?
Yes.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Ordinance 2024-041 is passed.
Okay, moving into Finance Commission, Mr. De Leon.
I'll move the May 1st, 2024 committee meeting minutes.
Second.
And- Okay, well, I was going to do
Oh,
the
you
actions.
do them all?
too.
All right.
I'll do the 4 actions also.
Second.
Second, is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, thank you. Would the clerk read draft number 2024-42 in title only?
Draft 2024-042, a resolution declaring it necessary to review the city's existing 1.16 mil tax levy for the purpose of current expenses, requesting the county auditor to certify the total current tax valuation of the city and the dollar amount of revenue that would be generated by that renewal levy pursuant to sections 5705.03, 5705.19A, and 5705.191 of the revised code, and declaring an emergency.
Go ahead.
Move suspension.
Second.
Second by Gwen. Please call the roll for suspension.
Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
Mr. De Leon?
Yes.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Ms. Selko?
Yes.
Move adoption.
Second.
Second by Mike. Any discussion on adoption? Seeing none, please call the roll for adoption.
Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
Mr. De Leon?
Yes.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Ms. Schaefer Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Ms. Zelko?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2024-042 is passed.
Okay, thank you. Would the clerk read draft number 2024-043 in title only?
Draft number 2024-043, an ordinance authorizing the city manager or his designee to allow the creation of 2 new budget funds that are necessary to separate city bonds and deposits and track health and department revenues and expenses and declaring an emergency.
Move suspension.
Second.
Second by Chris. Please call the roll on suspension.
Mr. DeLeon?
Yes.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Ms. Schaefer Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Ms. Zelko?
Yes.
And Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
Move adoption.
Second.
Second by Chris. Is there any discussion on adopting this ordinance? Seeing none, please call the roll for adoption.
Mr. DeLeon?
Yes.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Ms. Schaefer Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Ms. Zelko?
Yes.
Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
Ordinance 2024-043 passes.
Thank you. Would the clerk read draft number 2024-44 in title only?
Draft 2024-044, an ordinance amending ordinance number 2023-97, the current appropriation ordinance passed December 20th, 2023, so as to adjust appropriations, transfers, and advances from the various funds of the City of Kent to individual accounts for the current expenses of the city for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2024, and declaring an emergency.
Move suspension. Second.
Second by Gwen. Please call the roll for suspension.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Ms. Schaefer Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Turner, oh, not Mr. Turner. Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Ms. Zelko?
Yes.
Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
And Mr. DeLeon?
Yes.
Move adoption.
Second. Oop.
Second by Mike. Is there any discussion on adopting this ordinance? Please call the roll for adoption.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Ms. Schaefer Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Ms. Zelko?
Yes.
Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
And Mr. DeLeon?
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Ordinance 2024-044 has passed.
Thank you. Trying to upset an old man. Would the clerk read draft number 2024-045 in title only?
Draft 2024-045, an ordinance accepting and authorizing the city manager or his designee to execute the following agreements with the City of Kent, Ohio, with the city obtaining temporary easements for right-of-way purposes to install, construct, and reconstruct the roadway for the project known as East Main Street Improvement Project and declaring an emergency.
Move suspension.
Second.
Second by Chris. Please call the roll for suspension.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Ms. Schaefer Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Ms. Zelko?
Yes.
Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
Mr. DeLeon?
Yes.
And Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Move adoption.
Second.
Second by Roger. Any discussion on adopting this ordinance? Please call the roll for adoption.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Ms. Schaefer Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Ms. Zelko?
Yes.
Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
Mr. DeLeon?
Yes.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2024-045 is passed.
Okay, thank you. Moving into streets, sidewalks, and utilities, Mr. Sidoti.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to move the committee meeting minutes of May 1st and the action that was recommended.
Second.
Second by Mike. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, thank you. We got one draft. Would the clerk read draft number 2024-046 in title only?
Draft 2024-046, an ordinance enacting Section 351.041 of the Kent Codified Ordinances titled Parking Commercial Vehicles in Residential Areas and declaring an emergency.
Move suspension.
Second.
Second by Heidi. Please call the roll for suspension.
Ms. Schaefer Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Ms. Zelko?
Yes.
Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
Mr. DeLeon?
Yes.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Move adoption.
Second.
Second by Mike. Any discussion on adopting this ordinance? Seeing none, please call the roll for adoption.
Ms. Schaefer Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Ms. Zelko?
Yes.
Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
Mr. DeLeon?
Yes.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
And Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Okay, draft 2024, the ordinance 2024-046 is passed.
Okay, thank you. That's it for committees. We're unfinished business. Is there any?
Mr. Mayor, can I jump in here? I know I missed my city manager's
I
report.
noticed that.
I know, I'm sorry.
It's like getting bit in the rear end by a dog.
It's, but it actually circles back. I just want to, Bridget pointed out, it's great that Chief Scheer had no objections to the liquor license transfer. Her department hasn't been able to see, this is the first she heard about it, and she just wanted to confirm before we sent a letter of no objections that the business is going to be in a land use that allows alcohol sales. Like, if it's actually at the Last Exit Bookstore, that may be an issue, or if it's going to be somewhere else, we just don't know. So before we send the letter, can we get your approval to just confirm that wherever the liquor license is going to be used, it's zoned to allow that use?
All right, is there a motion to that?
So moved. Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Should do it.
And we'll hurry, and we'll go fast.
All right, all right. Again, is there any unfinished business? Seeing none? New business, anything? No. Council members' comments, anybody? Jeff?
I have a comment. I think we need to tread a little bit lightly on the recreational marijuana. I'm a big proponent of marijuana, but I think some of the information that's coming, we're not getting all of the story. I know that applications are being sent out on June 7th, or going to be available for June 7th for businesses to apply for recreational marijuana, but as far as I know, everything I read that was printed up until May 13th, there's no date given to when they're actually going to be approved, or a timeline for approval. So I think we just need to make sure we tread very lightly there. And this is nothing to offend you in any way, but I know that a lot of this is being written by lobbyist groups that have a business interest, and I would do the same thing if I was in their position. But I think we just really need to check our sources, talk to our law director, and do everything very carefully moving forward on this.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with you, Jeff. It's kind of like the Paul Harvey story, and here's the rest of the story. We haven't heard it yet. Anybody else? Comments? Council comments? Okay.
I have a comment.
Oh, Chris.
I know that next month we're going to be talking about zoning recreational sales and vape shops to the industrial zoning. I want to just make sure that we are checking ourselves about the making sure that those who use cannabis safely and legally. I'm concerned about them having to drive out there. A lot of young people are going to be the ones accessing that, and that is not a walkable area. I'm concerned about. Go ahead.
We sent you an email today that included a map of the industrial districts around town, and they're scattered throughout town.
Okay.
And even
you mentioned Madcap. So
yeah, the Madcap is one example, but the feed store on Lake Street, you know where that is, like we're.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So that's or Kent Advanced Displays, that building. On Mogador. Those are actually walking distance downtown. So, and there's more scattered around. We don't have a classic industrial district, right? We don't have the chemical factory somewhere. These are all light industrial areas that have retail uses that have been successful. So, anyways, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's good you did. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I just want to make sure that those who will use I think we want the businesses that receive those licenses to be ultimately successful. And it feels a little bit quick to me to be assigning just one zoning category for this use, for us to be looking at a resolution so fast. I guess I'd like to hear and I look forward to hearing the arguments next month in terms of why industrial and not looking at other areas in the city. So, thanks.
Roger?
Well, I think, just to address Chris's concerns a little bit, I think it stands in contrast to the belief that we are trying to not encourage the cannabis industry. We tried to find a middle ground, I believe, by saying, listen, we can expedite this without having to really, amend our zoning right away, without having to violate the things that are on the books already that could get us into legal discomfort and cost the taxpayers dollars. So I think this was a nice. It hasn't happened yet, but I think this is is a nice compromise to at least get us off and running into the right direction that I hear a lot of people wanting us to go. What will happen in the next 6 months is anyone's guess. Depending on what the demand is for more businesses, and we can then we can then call upon Bridget to help us figure out if we have to amend our zoning differently. But for now, I think this is a nice compromise to send a powerful message to the cannabis industry that we are interested in, but this allows us to continue to move forward one step at a time. So, for what it's worth, Chris, that's where I stand.
Anybody else? Okay, moving in the mayor's report. I was just wondering, sitting thinking today, I would like the 3 new members of council. And we'll start with the young lady here to my right. What's your view as you're on council, and how is your interaction, you feel?
Oh, well, I think it's been amazing. It's been so welcoming. We have great staff, and they have put up with my million questions and phone calls and trying to help me understand issues. I think we're really fortunate in the city of Kent. I attended the Ohio Municipal League training and heard from council members from all over the state, and just sitting at one round table, all the stories that I heard. And I thought, that's not Kent. None of those things represent what Kent has. And so I think we're really fortunate. I'm really happy to be part of this team, and just really grateful for the welcome that we've had.
Super.
So that's my thought.
All right, Chris.
What was the question again?
We're into 5 months. You've been on council
Hey,
for 5
Mr.
months.
Everine, was he like that in the classroom?
No, he
Oh,
wasn't.
okay.
I just kind of wondered how you're adjusting and your interaction and whatever.
Okay.
It's your 5-month review.
I won't say ditto. It's been incredible. I've really enjoyed. I mean, it's a steep learning curve. Just 5 seconds ago, I enjoyed some learning about our industrial zoning. I think one thing that I find tricky just being in Ward 4 is that I don't get a lot of the emails and the visits and things that others might get. A lot of my constituents have gone home for the summer. And so it's really helpful. It's really nice to be to hear from residents, but oftentimes, I am looking for steering because I want to represent the students. I want to represent the renters, and those are the least likely to be involved in our politics. And so I think one thing that I'm going to be excited about is how to group those voices together. How can we hear more of those? And Glad Avenue and May Street is home to longtime residents, including our former council member, 17 years, who has a lot to offer. So it's been wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. Jeff, you come to us bruised up from the planning commission.
Right. Well, first off, I was the student that wasn't paying attention to the question. But I'm paying attention this time.
There's an honest man.
Right. I think planning commission prepared me a lot for this. I kind of knew a little bit what to expect about procedurally, just dealing with the public a little bit, some of the issues that we face, and I'm kind of glad I'm not on the planning commission right now. I know they're really getting put through the ringer, but it's been really great so far. Everybody, I've only been cursed out on the phone one time, and everybody's been really friendly, and obviously, so between planning commission, this is 8 years of public service, and it's something, the city's something I'm passionate about. I raised my family here and don't intend to leave anytime soon, so I love it, and I love serving my community.
That's all great. Glad to hear that. Glad you shared that with us. This is Police Week, that we celebrate Police Week in Blue Light, Ohio. If you see a police officer, thank them. And if you're in a coffee shop, buy them a cup of coffee. They like that. The other thing I got to say, and being in Ward 1, Melissa's ward, this is the first year, spring cleanup, I only got one comment. And Pioneer Avenue is one of the last streets in Ward 1 to be picked up. And believe it or not, Monday, the first day, 7:30, they were out picking up our trash on our street. And I didn't hear one complaint from anybody in Ward 1. And I know they're coming through from Ward 2. They're in Ward 2 this week, I think, and on down.
They've already come to Ward 2.
I want to tell you, it's been great. It's been great. It's been one of the best ones. So.
Well, not all of Ward 2.
Huh?
Southwest quadrant.
By the mayor. We were picked up on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday?
Last
First week?
Tuesday, yeah.
Oh, I'll be darned. I thought it was every week. Wow.
No.
That was good. So with that, I need a motion. We're going to go into executive session, Mr. Emery.
Yeah, I would like to to consider the purchase of property for public purposes, the sale of property at competitive bidding, or the sale of other disposition of unneeded, obsolete, or unfit for use property in accordance with Section 505.10 of the revised code.
Second.
Second. Roll call.
Mr. Amrine?
Yes.
Ms. Zelko? Mr. Clapper?
Yes.
Mr. De Leon?
Yes.
Mr. Hook?
Yes.
Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes.
Ms. Schaefer-Bish?
Yes.
Mr. Sidoti?
Yes.
Okay, I'll give the audience 5